Hi guys, I'm Brooke and this is Pippa, and we travel full-time in my Honda CRV, and today it is so windy. I am so sorry. You're going to be able to hear it because even with all my windows closed, it's like 45-mile-per-hour gusts or something. So I hope it's not too distracting or too loud on camera, but I really wanted to get this video out for you guys because I get asked so much what I do about healthcare, how I go to the doctor on the road, the dentist, the eye doctor, everything like that. And I definitely want to answer that for you, especially about like prescriptions and things like that. It's really not as hard as you think, and I'm just going to jump right into it. This, obviously, I have to put the disclaimer out there, is what works for me as a relatively healthy person on a day-to-day basis. I am not somebody who gets a lot of colds or things like that are like popping up all of the time. I have had some very serious health issues in my past. I'm a cancer survivor. I've had autoimmune disorders my entire life, but those things have been managed. I have survived them. I do what I have to do to maintain it, and I can do it while on the road. Obviously, if you have active health issues happening, this may not work for you, but if you're a relatively day-to-day healthy person, these things may help you a lot. Or even if you're somebody who just lives in a house and is just randomly watching this video, some of these tips I've used for a very long time because after I had cancer, I got kicked off of my parents' health insurance. I've been on my own health insurance wise before the whole 26 thing. I've actually been on my own health insurance plan since I was 22, and I've always been in the service industry, retail industry, etc., or I've been self-employed like I am now. So I've actually never had a job where I've had insurance benefits or anything like that, and so it's pretty natural for me to try to come up with ways to save money while maintaining my healthcare and things like that. I've just always kind of had to do things on my own and kind of work around the system or work around to save money different places, and I have just continued to do that while I've been on the road. So the first thing I get asked a lot is, do you have health insurance? And yes, I do. It's through healthcare.gov. If you're self-employed or you don't get benefits through your job, it is the way that you get public health insurance. I don't know why more people don't know about it. It was what the Obamacare plans were, but they've like rebranded obviously to healthcare.gov. But that is the type of plan I have been on since I got kicked off of my parents' insurance. A lot of people, I think there's like a stigma around it or something, that it's like not good health insurance, but it's always worked just fine for me. It's income based, so if you're honest about your income, you actually can qualify for a tax credit and pay either nothing or a very low amount versus what it says on there. Obviously, that is based on how you fill it out. I don't use a broker or anything like that. I've been doing it myself for so long. You just enter your state and put it in. You may get excited to like hear that or something and want to go check on healthcare.gov, but it has to be during open enrollment, and that is at the end of the year. So you can only qualify and enroll in these plans a certain time of the year, or if you have a life change event, just like regular health insurance. That's a job change, a address change, etc. So do with that as you will. Please do your own research. I am not a health insurance expert by any means. That is just what I use. Since my health insurance is out of South Dakota and I only spend about 6 weeks in South Dakota every single year, I don't obviously go back to South Dakota every single time I have a problem, and obviously I am out of network most of the time, right? Like that's how American health insurance works. We all have gripes about it, etc. That's fine, but at the same time, I kind of treat my travel lifestyle the same way I treated when I was in college, right? Like my health insurance when I was younger was obviously based out of my hometown, and when I was in college, I would just go to the dentist, go to the doctor, go to wherever when I came home on holiday breaks and things like that. So I kind of work it the same way. All of the in-person doctor's visits and things like that I have to do that I cannot do virtually, I just do them once a year all at the same time. I just get a hotel room and like bam 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 schedule them all, get them knocked out the same way as you would that week of Thanksgiving when you come back from college or whatever. It's not the most fun time obviously to go to that many like appointments all in a row. When I go back to South Dakota, it is very like businessy for me. It's go to all my appointments, check in with my financial advisor, check in with all my accounts, go check my mail and do all that stuff. So it does feel feel to me the same as it felt when I was in college and I would come home for a break. I never really like got a break until a few days in, right? So I just get a hotel room so I can leave Pippa behind and I can knock out all these appointments and go. Now, after the coronavirus though, so many things can get done online. So through my health insurance, they have virtual visits that you can do. I can have my primary doctor do a virtual visit just like on FaceTime or, you know, whatever the telehealth thing is, and that works great. But what I have found is actually GoodRx. This isn't sponsored or anything like that. I have just fallen in love with their system. GoodRx's virtual appointment prices are actually cheaper and cover more than my own insurance. So I actually am part of their like gold plan. So I pay monthly to be part of GoodRx's gold membership, and this is how I do like 90% of my doctor's visits on the road. So it's super easy because with how obviously primary care doctors work and stuff like that, sometimes there's like a 6-month wait to get into a primary care doctor. And if you need medications filled, or you just have a cold, or you have a UTI, or you have something that just needs like a very quick kind of like conversation where you're like, I've been through this before, I know exactly what kind of medication I need, I can show you the prescription bottle from the last time, let's just refill this and move on. GoodRx can do all of that stuff, and they just call it in to whatever pharmacy is closest to you. They do it all through the app, and the actual medication price is cheaper because when you do the membership you get a coupon and like all of that stuff. It just makes it so easy. So for example, I take thyroid medication. I've been on it since I was like 10. I do blood work every year obviously to check it. I can tell pretty quickly if my thyroid is off, so I know when I actually need to go to my primary care and go do lab work, and I know when I just need a refill and it's not that big of a deal. So I'm gapped right now with getting into my primary care doctor. I tried to get in May and they didn't have any appointments, and then I was running out of medication, so all I did was go on to GoodRx, popped in, said, hey, I am literally just waiting for my primary care visit. Can I just get a refill on this thyroid medication I've been on forever? You put in your primary care doctor's information so they can verify it with them. You send them a picture of your current prescription bottle and everything like that so they know the dosage. You can tell them the last time you did lab work and all that stuff. They don't just like hand out medication, obviously, but when it's routine things, I think they just try to make it as easy as humanly possible, you know? So I just went in and they gave me a 90-day refill. That's going to cover me until I can go back to South Dakota. We're good to go. Obviously, aside from those things, I have a savings account for accidents and emergencies, just the same way as if I went home for Thanksgiving and I slipped on a patch of ice and sprained my ankle and had to go to urgent care. That's the same thing that would happen if I was out hiking and I needed to go to urgent care or something happened to me, right? Like, you just have to pay out of pocket for those things when you're out of network, and it sucks and it's awful. And it happened when Pippa got attacked. I also got bit when she got attacked at the RV park that we were at, and I had to go get stitches in my hand and get a tetanus shot and do all that stuff, and I technically didn't have to pay. The dog owners covered my bill for me, but that would have been $200 that I would have had to pay. That was out of network for my insurance because I was in Arizona when that happened, and my insurance is through South Dakota. So make sure you have a savings account to cover those medical bills, just the same way as if you went on vacation or just went out of state to visit family or something, if something were to pop up. I get asked about vision and dental a lot less, but these are my tricks for vision and dental that I've been using forever, because most insurance plans, obviously we know, don't cover vision and dental. And like I said, I never had benefits through a job anyways, and so I always had to get cheap dental and cheap vision as much as I possibly could. And the answer for me for dental has been dental schools. Go find the dental schools. They have to practice on somebody, and if you don't need major dental work done, they are so inexpensive and they take forever, obviously, because somebody is practicing on you. But you can get a teeth cleaning, x-rays, and you get checked out by an actual dentist at the end. They have to check the student's work, and I think the last time I went, I paid like $12 for a cleaning and x-rays and to like have a dentist check everything. I've always had good teeth. I've never had a problem with them. I've never had like to get a cavity filled or anything like that, but I was probably there for like 2 hours, which is a lot to be at the dentist, but for $12, you can't beat it. Go to a dental school. I know people are going to say all these things, but I literally, this is like an extra tip right here. I literally swear by going to trade schools all the time because I went to hair school. I know how many checks and balances you have to work on other people when you're not licensed. Like, they have to have licensed people there to check your work because that's how the students learn. So I go to schools, or I did obviously when things were more open, all the time. I never minded when people practice waxing on me, facials, hair, massages, all of that stuff. Go to the schools, go find them. They're in every like kind of major town, and you can treat yourself for such cheap money. Obviously, maybe you're not going to get like the best experience, but at the same time, you may get just as good of an experience, and you can treat yourself for such little amounts of money. Another place that people handle dental needs and everything like that is they go to Mexico in the winter. I know that there is some controversy, I'm sure, about that, but a ton of my friends went last winter when I had already gone to a school to get my cleaning, and that is actually going to be my plan moving forward. I spend my winters in the Southwest, and so it would be super easy to pop over to Mexico, and that's what I'm going to do next year to take Pippa to the vet and to get my teeth cleaned. I know so many people that do it. There's caravans of people that do it, and they just go all together because you can get checked out and have a even better experience from what it sounds like my friends have done than you even get in the US. And again, you pay out of pocket, but it is less expensive and you're getting quality healthcare, even though people think that you don't. I've seen the results of some of the things my friends have done over in Mexico, and I think you may actually get better care in Mexico. Now, I get asked about eyes all the time. So I used to wear glasses and contacts and everything like that, and I never had vision insurance after I got kicked off of my parents' plan, and so I always went to Target. Simple as that. I always went to Target. It's a flat fee to get your eye exam and then to either get a glasses prescription or a contacts prescription. It's just a flat fee. You can just schedule it. I've even gotten in the same day before, and it just makes it super easy. I did get LASIK back in 2020 before the pandemic hit, and so I just have to go get just regular eye exams now, and so I just go into Target. I think the last time I went, it was like $60 for an eye exam, and again, easy. And because it's Target, like, your records follow you a lot better than if you were to go from private practice to private practice. And so I've just never had a problem. I know a lot of people also need therapy, and I think that's amazing if you are working on yourself and going to therapy and things like that. I do virtual therapy. I don't do it as much as I did because it can obviously start to add up. I don't really recommend a lot of those like really commercial online therapies, but if you can find a private practice therapist that you really love, that maybe has the sliding scale, or just is somebody that you really resonate with, a lot of them do still do virtual visits, and I just FaceTime with my therapist when I need to check in or talk about something or do whatever. And again, it makes it super easy. I don't go through my insurance for therapy because I think I only get like 10 visits a year, and it's just easier to find somebody that I really resonate with than try to go through my insurance. So I actually have had the same therapist now for a few years, and she is not based in South Dakota, so I just pay out of pocket for that. Same thing. But she does do virtual visits, and it makes it really easy that we can just FaceTime and get out everything that we need to get out and check in on everything that we need to check in on. And then I don't have to worry about traveling to go see her either, or wait. If I have like an issue that I need to really work out, I don't have to wait then. I know this is a really simple overview, but like I said, I'm not like a health insurance broker. I'm not a professional. I'm not somebody who is like a super expert on all of this stuff, but this is just things that I have used in the past and continue to use and will use in the future to keep up with my health on the road. I know that some of these things feel really daunting when you have to do something outside of what your norm is, but I promise you there have been people who have been doing things kind of outside the box or outside their employer or outside of their insurance for years and years and years. That's why these companies exist. That's why some of this stuff exists. If you just think outside the box just a little bit, I promise you it's not as hard as you think. And I hope this helped somebody, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!